Morning all, how are you doing? I'm just outside. I was thinking it was warm enough to have my cup of tea outside this morning, but it's not. It's still pretty cool. It's pretty grey. Saturday was a beautiful day, nice and warm, and yeah, felt like spring's coming. Today it's just gone back a bit, but it is still middle of February, so God knows how we've already got to the middle of February. That's what Lammer, Dairy Tech, Yams just makes the three shows together just make time disappear, because getting ready for them, doing them, and then following up the leads from them just makes time vanish. I've been doing some office work this morning, paying bills, trying to catch up with the accounts. I'm normally not very good at keeping up with the accounts. I'm not rubbish, but it's just time consuming, and it's one of those jobs that there's always something better to do, so you sort of leave it. I've got a bit of planning to do this week. I'm expecting to be down south all next week. I've got demos for the weeder and the transplanter to do, and possibly going to end up in Cornwall on Friday afternoon, going to see some Lactaline installation potential customers. And I'm trying to work out a way of leaving the trailer with the transplanter and the weeder somewhere around Bristol, because it'd save me dragging it 300 miles. Where I'm going is 150 miles from Bristol, so 300-mile round trip. I need somewhere that's secure, that I can drop in at a moment's notice to drop it off, and drop in at a moment's notice to pick it up, because I've no idea what time I'm going to be dropping it off or picking it up. So I'm trying to work out how I'm going to do that. So there's going to be a bit of planning for that as well. And generally just trying to keep on top of jobs, which, yeah, does take some doing, but it's part of it. No point whinging about it. So yeah, we'll bash on. Morning all, it's Wednesday morning. I'm just on down at the workshop cutting steel for compact front box frames. I've sold quite a few, so just on with bandsaw. Nice sunny morning, so I've got the door open. It did start off pretty foggy and pretty cold, but it's warmed up now, so it's a nice job to be doing. I've got a Zoom call this afternoon with either the DIT or the DTI. I can never remember which way around it is. Department of Trade and Industry, I think, or Department of Industry and Trade, no idea, about exporting. So that's to do with Lactaline, trying to get them abroad, and that'll be a bit of time this afternoon doing that. And then I'll be carrying on with SolidWorks in. I've got quite a bit of SolidWorks to do for different jobs, and it's pretty time consuming. You sort of wonder where all the time goes, but it just takes as long as it takes. And I had a bit of falling out with it this morning because I was on doing a job and I'd got quite a long way with it, and I wanted to swap one of the parts out, and for some reason it decided that it didn't want to do it, and it just threw it all out and it made a mess, and yeah, I was better off just walking away and just getting frustrated. So I'll go back to try and sort that mess out. Just nicely sawing away, and I was just texting somebody to get a postcode for tomorrow. Piece of steel fell off there and basically chopped straight through the power cable, and I watched it happen, and it sparked with all the cutting fluid that's there. Dropped on, cut it, sparks, game over. Morning all, Thursday morning. I picked Philip up and we went over to a farm over in Cheshire and fitted a Lactaline to a Fullwood rotary milky parlour. We only fitted one because we hadn't fitted them to a Fullwood before, and just to make sure it worked, and it did a good job, so win. Morning all, how are you doing? It's Friday morning. I've started the morning with a Zoom call to a chap in Japan talking about Lactaline, which is quite interesting. I've never had anything to do with Japan, but it was pretty interesting, and quite a nice chap to talk to. So last night was hellish windy here, and where we live is right on top of a hill, and fortunately there's a load of trees that sort of protect us from the wind, and it's only when you come out here in the yard it's not that bad, but when the wind, you hear the wind in the trees, it's hellish. They're doing a hell of a good job of stopping the wind, to be fair to them. I tell you, when you go around the top corner over there, you realise how actually windy it properly is, because you start getting battered by it. Evening all, it's 6 o'clock. I've been in the office all day, emailing, answering price questions and doing all sorts of stuff. So of course on a Friday night, what do? go and service your trailer. And this is a lesson to why not to start a job like this on a Friday night when everywhere's shut and you've got too much to do tomorrow to go and get a replacement part. The bits I'm replacing, that goes on there and it was all split. So I've got a new one of them. I've got a new one of these, which goes here, because it's yeah, not really working like it should. And this here, this ram goes inside there. And, so that's the old one. And you've basically got to try and line that bolt up there. That's the end of it inside there. Line that up and push these back so that they line up with there. So, but unfortunately there's a pin goes in there. This pin here. And I knocked it out, and of course it had to snap, didn't it? So it snapped the end off it. It's only a little bit, but that's the other bit of it. There. So that's now not usable. So I'm going to have to make a pin to go in there till I can get to a shop to get the right one. This is a job that I've meant to have been doing for ages. I've had the bits since before Christmas. And I want to get it done before next week because I'm going away demoing weeders and transplanters, so I wanted to get it sorted before then really. And of course, starting it at 5 o'clock on a Friday night, not always the best idea, but never mind, we'll get it sorted. That's it sorted now. So the reason for swapping the ram inside there is because when the trailer was loaded, it was too weak to stop the brakes coming on when you were reversing. So you'd be trying to go backwards and it was putting the brakes on. So that was a bit annoying. So hopefully that's sorted out. I don't think that... Morning all. I've got the trailer on because I'm heading to Selby to collect a weeder off a customer. I didn't expect to be doing weeder demos quite so soon in the year. So I've ordered a demo weeder, but it hasn't landed yet. And I want to get these demos done down south. So next week I'm going to be on a road trip. I'm going to Chester, Ross-on-Wye, Bristol, Leicester, and various other places in between that I've forgotten. So yeah, that's going to be most of this week. Should be good fun. Picked the weeder up this morning, and I just need to move the heads a bit so that it travels right. Normally I run with the tines sat on a bit of wood, but they were set in such a way that I couldn't do it this morning. So I've just popped it on a tractor and we'll just move them in a bit. So, like that, and then it'll travel better. So that's a good do. Didn't have to take it off to do that, which is quite good. So now I can ride with it as I want it. That's the end of this video. Thanks very much for watching. Next week should be quite interesting with all the weeder demos. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and like, and if you comment, we'll have a chat with you. Thank you.